Is Aubrey Robertson in the house? Aubrey is our DA candidate here in McLennan County. He's got a absolutely scary opponent, so we really need to fall in behind him.
Thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. You know, and I think some of the other candidates will agree. One of the questions I get asked most when I'm talking to people is, why do you want to be district attorney? And I think it's important, first of all, to understand what the district attorney's office does. They are the chief law enforcement officer of our county. They are the ones that make the most difficult decisions about who to charge with a crime and what crime to charge them with, when to seek the death penalty, when children need to go to the Texas Juvenile Justice Center. These are incredibly important things that the district attorney's office has to consider. But for me, what I tell people is it's about domestic violence. As a prosecutor, domestic violence cases were some of the most difficult but also fulfilling cases that I ever prosecuted. And let me tell you, these women who had been beaten, sometimes within an inch of their life, would sit in my office and they would cry to me and they would say, please don't prosecute him. Please don't send my husband to jail. I need him. Our kids need him. And they would beg and plead with me to dismiss the case or just let it go. And as I talked to these women and as I got to know them, I realized what they needed was a support system. Because like all domestic abuse survivors, they had been isolated from their friends and family. They had been told they were worthless. And they needed somebody to hold their hand and say, I'm going to be there with you all the way through. And so when I told them that, when I would take them by the hand and say, I'm going to be in trial with you. Look at me the entire time. When I'm asking you questions, focus on me. Don't look at him. And I'll make sure that he never does this to you again. And it doesn't matter how severe the injuries were, whether it was a black eye or I had a case where a lady was literally beaten with a pipe, and she still asked me to dismiss that case. But it doesn't matter about the injury, because what these women need is our support, not our judgment. They need our help, our grace. That's what they need from us. And so when people ask me why I want to be a prosecutor, it's for victims of crime like that. Not just domestic violence, but all crime. Even crimes against small businesses. My father's a small business owner. I can remember growing up when people would break into his office, he would take our dog and his gun and he'd go sleep in the lobby of his business because the police weren't doing anything. We've got to protect small business owners too. They are a vital member of our community. So, my name's Aubrey Robertson. I have the experience to be district attorney. My opponent has never served as a prosecutor for a day in his life. Our last two district attorneys here in McLennan County have never served as a prosecutor for a day in their lives, and we saw how those administrations ended. So, I ask for your vote. I ask for you to tell other people that I am the most qualified candidate in this race, and thank you again for the opportunity to speak. I really appreciate it.